release the foam.
I don't know if y'all like that. Hey folks, how y'all doing? Give me half a second just to verify the sound. The web presenter is still rocking hard. Oh, that's loud. All right, audio sounding good. Hey folks, AJay the CEO here. Thank you so much for joining me on our try to have every Friday Q&A with AJay. Hopefully, did y'all catch that? The release the phone? That, I don't know, that was hilarious for me. That is a what if episode. I don't want to ruin that for anybody if y'all haven't seen it. But that's on Disney Plus. Again, thank you so much. Let's get the technicalities out of the way. Appreciate y'all stopping by. AJay the CEO. This is where every Friday, try to have every Friday where I have a live stream for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. All depends how I'm feeling. Where I try and answer your questions as best as I possibly can. And the audio's fine, so I'm gonna take my headphones off here. And if you don't mind, if you could take a half a second and go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell notification. That way you don't miss out when we have other videos like this to help modernize your media ministry. What else? It is the second week, folks. So we have a roundtable that's this Sunday at around 7 p.m. Eastern, where we sit and have a whole bunch of media ministries come together who are on our Facebook group, and we just sit and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and we just try and encourage each other, talk about the good and things that we can all help out collectively together. So that is awesome. Really excited about that. A lot of people have gotten a lot of things out of that. If you have ever attended one of our roundtables, go ahead and drop an E in the chat. Really would appreciate that. What else we got? If I do not get to your question, folks, please realize that you can always email me at questions@ajayhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to get back in touch with you, and we will do our best to answer your questions. I'm looking for the right button here. And again, I'm going to do this at the beginning now because I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters who make videos like this possible. Their names are on the screen right now. You too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, as well as you could click down below and hit the join button and be a YouTube member, where we're doing more and more stuff for all of our YouTube members and Patreon supporters as a big thank you. If none of you are able to attend our roundtable, I post the roundtable recording to Patreon supporters and YouTube members only, so that way they can go back and watch if they were not able to attend. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to everybody here. And just let you know, I'm feeling tired, so I don't know why that is. My daughter has been with me, and she has cheerleading practice every single evening after school, and I am drained. And then somebody is upstairs stomping yet again. Alan Marvin, hello. Anthony, hello. Parker Jennings, hello. Shane and Hannah, hello. Francisco, hello. Big shout out to Francisco and his wife. They are running the mission for the Great Commission Conference that started yesterday. I was able to jump in for a little bit while I was listening, while I was at my daughter's cheerleading practice. They have going again today and then tomorrow, where they've asked me to be one of the speakers on Saturday, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to be coming straight from my daughter's homecoming game to jump on there. So really appreciate the big shout out. John Cook, hello, saying 2 weeks in a row. Hey, well, thank you for joining me. Lester, hello. Mix and Mel, hello. Rob, hello. Mr. Clarence, hello. You know who I am, hello. Carriers of the Covenant Faith, hello. Nitya, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Jivan, sorry if I pronounced that wrong again. Thank you so much for joining. Bryant Davis, hello. Paul Phillip, hello. Ishmael, hello. Mike, hello. Josh, hello. Raymond Romero, hello. She's Destiny, hello. Chasen, hello. First off, again, I want to apologize. Josh sent me an email for his meme of the month challenge that he has been talking about. He sent me some information, but like I said, by the time I finish from here, I'm running around with my daughter and I missed his email. So again, Josh, want to publicly apologize for that. I sent you an email so we can set up everything so I can stream to here and there whenever we're gonna revise that. So again, John, I'm gonna jump to some other stuff and work backwards. Well, actually, we got some more people that jumped on here. Robert Miller, hello. Larry the Maestro, hello. Carl, hello. Justin, hello. Paul and Leona in the room, hello. From South Africa. Oh, Paul from South. Hey, hello. Bramwell, hello. From Jamaica. Adam, hello. Adam is a beast. Man, if y'all are not on the Facebook group, man, that dude is a beast. If y'all don't see what he did at his church, I am jealous. I actually talked to Pastor Allen about doing the same thing that you did, Adam. Well, that's awesome. James Wickham, hello. Daniel, hello. Leslie, hello. Stan, hello. So let me jump backwards here. Let y'all know the book is still coming. I am pressed to have it come out this year. If you didn't know, I did write one book that is currently available on Amazon. I am working on book number 2 that was supposed to have came out early this year, but then got distracted. So again, I appreciate all the patience that y'all have given me for the people who have pre-ordered. This book the first book was called Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. Now it's called the second one is called Modern Media Ministry is Now Necessary. And it's not like a regular book. It's more like a guide to give you suggestions on the mindset of what I do to add other things to grow in your media ministry. So it's not really meant to read from beginning to end. It's to look up in the table of contents, whatever subject that you're trying to work on, and then I do a breakdown of that. So to help try and give you some tips on that. So we are pushing for that to be released this year. But like I said, if you have pre-ordered, and understandably so, if you want your money back, all you got to do is email me with the receipt, or at least the email that you use to pay, and then we will move forward with that. But we are aiming for that to be released this year. And the people who pre-ordered, all of y'all's names are in there, which I appreciate, and I will sign each book before it goes out. So really appreciate that. Now, what else am I forgetting? I don't call if I'm forgetting anything. So anyway, that was for the book. Yes, there will be a ebook version once this comes out, the hard copy, because I'm actually in the beta program with Amazon Kindle. Normally they could only do ebooks as well as soft covers, but they now have a beta trial for hardcover copies. So that's where I'm releasing my books at right now. So yes, there will be a digital version of it. All right, so let's jump back to the first page, and we got a question at the very, very, very beginning. Let's see. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed, when I did my tour, I did shift my camera over. So this is now the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K with my Sigma lens on here, which is doing quite well. And let me shift over here to the studio camera. You see the tally light just came on. So if I cut back, y'all see I moved the camera over. Here's my multi-view and my whole layout here. So I ended up, so my desk is actually away from the wall, so I got to be careful so stuff doesn't fall over. But anyway, let's get to our first question here. Hello, man of God, praise the Lord. I have followed your tutorials for installing and connecting Easy Worship to OBS, but man, it just stops at showing the window of Easy Worship. Some help, please. All right, so two things. Sometimes the window capture is not the greatest, so what I would do is do a screen capture instead, where it will capture the entire screen. So you got to be mindful of whatever comes on that screen. So like, for example, let me turn off the ATEM so I'm not having a repeating effect. So if I come over here to the screen of my OBS right here, and what we want to do, let me move that out the way. Instead of doing it this way, so like if we came in here and did a window capture, I can capture, say, the browser of showing vMix Social of your chat comments that I'm seeing. I could do that, but and that works. But sometimes when you don't, if it doesn't perform well, like pretty much it sounds like what you're saying, I like to do just a screen capture. So that will capture everything. A display capture that will capture everything on the monitor. That is the output from whatever your presentation software is using. So I have 3 monitors right now. And if I go to, make sure it doesn't show anything it's not supposed to. If I go to this one, this will show everything that's on the monitor here, which is not a problem. You just have to be mindful of, whatever you put on the screen. So if I go over here and open up Presenter, and I'm going to put, and I meant to talk about this. They actually have an update for Presenter, which is kind of cool. You can actually now control triggers inside of Presenter with MIDI controllers. So that's cool. So I just opened up, Presenter, and that other screen is actually showing the output. So if I come here and say I want to bring up this graphic, so now it's capturing anything that's on that screen, right? But see, if I drag this window over, you see now it's gonna carry anything that's on that screen. That's my fail safe. If you have any issues, you just have to be mindful of not displaying anything on that screen. I would try that to see if it's still dropping out. If it is dropping out, it's something else that would be the issue with that. And while we're doing that, I am going to close Presenter and do an update, because I might have to open it back up again. Download and install updates. That was quick. All right, so let's go to the next question that we got here. John, how would you recommend getting audio from your sanctuary mixer distributed throughout a large church building with audio in satellite rooms? Some are hallways nearby, so low latency is important. It all depends. Do you have video distribution as well? If not, if you're only concerned about audio, honestly, the thing I would probably say is, and if you want low latency, is run off stereo cables going from your source into those areas. That's honestly the same way. Now, and the only reason I mention that is you're talking about low latency. You want it to be in sync with what's going to be coming from the sanctuary. If you don't care about that and there's no bleed over to where wherever that satellite room is and they can't hear the main source, then honestly, I would say who cares about if it's out of sync. You're talking about if it's out of sync by 2-3 seconds from what the main is. That's not really that important. Just like at my church, when you watch the stuff on the television on the other side of the building, it's about a 5-second delay because of the conversion from our RF modulator. But that doesn't matter because it's on the other side of the building. It's at least 500, 300 feet away. No, actually farther than that. But I mean, it's pretty far away, so you can't hear the main source. Anything else other than that, I would have to think about that one as a possibility. Get my cup out the way so I don't knock it over. Let me open back up Presenter here so I can jump back to that if need be. Yeah, that's page 3. You know who I am. Good morning. I'm finally going to set up the A10 Mini this weekend at my church. We purchased the Mini and not the Pro. What issues could I possibly run into seeing we don't have an encoder? Well, with the Mini, you have no multi-view. So you're not going to be able to see where you're going to ahead of it unless you put something in place like I did with jerry rigging some stuff together to have a multi-view of HDMI splitters and stuff like that. Also, the A10 Mini is just a glorified capture card with capture card / webcam with 4 inputs. So there is no encoding. That's the only thing I would say. The encoding would have to be done on the computer that you're connecting it to. That's the only thing I would say. Neat the eye. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong again. What is the best streaming software for church Sunday service? Again, that's subjective. Me personally, I like OBS because it's free and it will get your feet wet to see what you do or do not like. I am currently using vMix to do this live stream, which can work as well too, but that has a cost. You could also use XSplit. You can also use Streamlabs, OBS. It all depends on what you're trying to do. Again, a lot of my stuff is based off of OBS because it was the free option, because when I got started, we didn't have any money. So most of this was I had to just work on this stuff with whatever I had. All right, let's go to page 2. Raymond. Man, I felt like I was getting ready to sneeze or yawn at the same time. I have a small church with a 3-screen setup and going YouTube live with phone from middle of the church. Person in the front middle is in the way to set up phone kind of distribution. What's, and then it cut out. What's the best way to set up and program to use? I mean, I need a little bit more detail on how everything is connected to your screens and everything like that. If you can give me some more layout with that, that would help. Ishmael, thank you again for joining, watching from Ghana. Oh yeah, just to let y'all know, October 7th and 8th, I will be in Frankfurt, Germany. And then from the 8th until the 11th, I will be in Dublin, Ireland. So just letting y'all know. Let's see. Mr. Clarence, y'all are funny. Oh, so I didn't even realize, Augustine, your question. So yes, I leave on the 7th and I go straight from Richmond to DC, DC to Frankfurt, Germany, there for about 3 hours, and then from Frankfurt, Germany to Ireland. This is my first international trip, so I'm a little nervous, and I am having to order a whole bunch of stuff, getting a whole bunch of extra tests and everything like that. I mean, I am vaccinated, but I need to have documentation for Ireland. Then I also need to take another test. I'm taking other tests just to be, I feel like I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson when I'm like this, but I'm just having a bunch of stuff just in case. So I already had a plan to schedule my return test once I land in Dublin, so that I could be prepared. Plus, I also looked it up that any of the home tests that you can get that I ordered, they're supposed to be delivered today, I can take in my hotel room, and that certifies re-entry into the United States. So, yeah, really excited. Streets of Destiny, if I didn't say it, hello. Larry here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Carl, good morning to you as well, if I haven't said it already. All right, Leslie here. Blessed day to you, sir. Thank you. Lighthouse Center in West Park, Florida. Loves you. Well, I appreciate it. Any suggestions on good cordless mics? Also, where can I get a good graphic pre-made from? Let me go backwards. Honestly, for graphics, I'm going to give a big shout out to Jaleel Brown. He is a person in our Facebook group. You might want to hit him up. He makes some good graphics. We also got Mark Carter does designs as well too. He's also in the Facebook group. If you're not able to reach out to any of them, I honestly do a lot. If I don't do the graphics myself, I do hire someone from Fiverr. That's what have done a lot of graphics for me. Maybe that would help. Now, from a cordless mic standpoint, what is the cordless mic going to be used for? Is it just going to be for singers? Is it going to be for just somebody who's preaching? Need a little bit more to tell me from that. Stan would like to know, which lenses do you recommend for the Blackmagic Studio cameras? Me personally, I have almost the majority of my lenses have been Panasonic Lumix lenses. My micro cinema camera that I got over here, that is on a Olympus one right there, looking down on my desk. The studio camera behind me, that is also on a Panasonic Lumix lens. I don't remember them. I did update the description. Did I do it in this one? I might have to update the descriptions inside of the Q&As, but I have put a list on all of my lenses and everything. I'm still learning the lenses first off as well too. This one I'm using, the Sigma right here, is a fixed, so there's no zoom or nothing like that, but I do like the bokeh that it's doing with this. It all depends. I took a stab at the lens that I have over here. This is the one that I got, hoping that it would cover a good distance for the studio camera, which it did. Pop the top off that. Again, this is a Panasonic Lumix 45 to 175 right here. It has power, zoom, and all this other stuff, autofocus with a press of a button, which those arms have not come in yet. For the studio camera, they are heavily back ordered. That's the focus on demand and the focus ring on demand, or zoom on demand. Still waiting for those to come in. But that's the best I can say. I'm still kind of learning that. So let's go back to Larry here. Is there a way to get stereo sound in OBS? The church mixer is connected to the computer using the iRig Duo. Yes, I actually have sound coming in stereo. I would honestly think it's something with the iRig or what you're sending originally. How is the iRig connected to your source? How is that coming in from that? Let me know about that. Otis, what's going on from Texas? Otis, honestly, I was trying to plan a trip to go down to Brownsville to see a SpaceX launch, but it was like crazy how much they were trying to charge to try and go down there. So maybe another time. Robert wants to know, how is the PAL hum eliminator work for you? I mean, it's working well. Let me actually see if I can change my audio real quick so you can see where it's coming from. Let me know. Give me half a second to switch this out, because right now I'm going directly from the road, what you're hearing right now. Let me put it's not going to matter when I put my headphones on. Give me a second to change this. Sorry if it's a loud noise because I have not done this live. No, I can't do that because that's what y'all are seeing right now. I'm gonna have to do it a second time. I mean, honestly, I haven't heard the hum. I have to crank my audio up pretty high when I'm coming from the source, but I haven't had any issues once I got the right cables. Missy Productions, hello from California. I was actually trying to go back to California. I wanted to go to San Francisco, but I had a budget I had to stay within. Daniel, hello. I'm sending an HDMI signal to an SDI video distribute converted to component on some monitors. I'm using a micro HDMI to SDI converter, but I'm not getting a signal on any of the monitors. Okay, so what is the source that you're sending in? Because I don't believe component cable can do 1080p. I thought it could only do 1080i. What's the resolution and frame rate that you're sending first, and then we can work backwards from there. Back to John. Last time I asked about presenter and NDI, you had mentioned you would see if you could get in touch with your contact there to see if they have NDI support. I have not got a response back from them yet. So I will maybe see if I can ask again, but I hadn't heard anything yet. But let me see. But honestly, the way they're pushing this stuff, I'm surprised it's not going to be. I mean, I would assume it would hopefully be something soon, but again, I can't make any promises on this stuff. Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I feel like the fact that you're going to have to pay for it, they have to pay for a license. If they did have it, it wouldn't be something that was going to be free. So I don't know, but I will ask back again and do a follow-up to see if I hear anything. Darian here. To your knowledge, how long can you run RS-232 connections between cameras, and if not very long, are there any extending options? Honestly, the longest I've ever ran it was 100 feet, but at my church, I converted over to Ethernet, which supposedly can go 300 feet. At my church, in the ceiling, we're running a RS-232 running a Marshall CV620 cable adapter. Ran that for about 200 feet, and it's been working for years without any issue. I normally have a link to this, but actually it's still in my shopping cart here. This is on B&H Photo. So this is the Marshall CV627, cable 7. That's the one where it's 2 in and out and converts to RJ45. And then I have the other one that goes from the 8-pin, from the sub 9 connection to RJ45. And both of those are 25. Well, this one's 25, and they're both $25. So that's what I've used repeatedly without any issues. This is what's at my home church, a bunch of other ones, and it just works great for me. So I'll see if I can put a link to that. Please don't buy these from Amazon because they marked them up to high heaven for some odd reason. And then we'll get the other one here. Let me share this other one as well too. Copy. Hopefully that helps. Oh, and follow up with Daniel. Daniel was saying, you comment on my post to see what frame rate and resolution is actually coming out. But what do I do with that, and what do I do next? Well, the main thing is I need to see what's actually coming out. So like a lot of times when my stuff isn't working, I connect it to like a 4K monitor that can handle all the resolutions. And then I just connect it because I want to see what's coming out. Because if you're converting it as a component, you need to verify that are you sending a signal that the component, the adapter that's converting it component can actually handle. Because again, I could be wrong. I don't remember component cable supporting 1080p. That's what I'm wondering. Maybe you're not getting the signal because it's not converting anything because it can't handle the signal that's being brought in. So I would say the other way you could do it is if you have any way to adjust the input that's going in, start dropping it down by settings. Go through different frame rates, go down from 1080p to 1080i if you can do that, and just see, do you get anything? Because we want to first see, does that converter even work? That's the main thing, what I'm trying to get around to. So that's what I would say, try and do that. Don, good morning. Francisco, giving another shout out to Jaleel. Jaleel does great graphics. He created the flyer for our On a Mission for the Great Commission Conference. He did an excellent job. I must agree. Shane, actually, I was this close to coming to London if it just wasn't for the flight issues and the cost. I was actually coming. I'm actually looking at making another trip next year around January. Me and some friends from college are actually looking at trying to come over that way. So London is my next stop because, I mean, I'm dangerous with French. I know enough to get myself in trouble. So going to another place where I actually need to speak the language, I'm kind of hesitant on. But I do want to go to London and visit a bunch of places. And I have a couple of friends that specifically want to go to certain spots. So that may be the trip January, February of next year. So I will let y'all know. Darius, good morning from Mobile, Alabama. Hello. I don't know why I'm yawning. Sorry, AJ. Yeah, we need cordless mics for praise and worship and one for speaking. There was a company that my friend Jay Kyle has recommended these mics before. And they were actually from a company. They were from engineers that used to work from Shure. And I just sent him a text to see if I can get an answer, and I will let you know once he responds. Indy, hello. Paul, you were saying, we plan to change our old soundboard, analog, low budget. What is a reliable soundboard? Is it powered mixer or mixer with extra power amp or double mix for live streaming and main hall? Honestly, the only other boards that I've worked with are the Rolands and a lot of the X32s. A lot of people have said the Midases are good. The recent Allen and Heaths are good. I personally have not used them. A lot of the installs I've been doing have been a variant of the X32s, the Director, the Compact, and the regular size. Those have worked well for me. I'm actually looking at installing a couple of those too. Indy wants to know, when are you coming to Canada? Honestly, I was looking at coming to Toronto and Ontario. I mean, I was looking at coming to Toronto originally before I was going to go anywhere else. But then, again, it was a price. Be surprised. It was actually cheaper for me to go to Ireland than to go to London, than to go to Las Vegas, or go to Canada, which is strange. So I could not miss that up. Bryant here. With the persistent stream key box checked on Facebook, I still have to copy and paste the key to the A10 Pro every time I live stream. All right, one easy thing to do with that is, and I'm gonna put some junk in mine so that y'all don't know the real key. Well, I can't do it anyway. I can't shut it down. Well, I can show you at least. So let's cut back over here. So make sure when you have your stream key put in here, and I just have some junk in here, what you need to do first is come up here to File and do Save Startup State. And then also just do a save as and save it as something else. And when you shut down the A10 and bring it back up, all of this stuff is going to be saved. Because right now, this is in our live stream. If we do a save as and call it whatever, see it has right here, your output settings, which is everything in here is being saved. And then, you save your startup state. It's going to start back up with all the buttons and everything that you have started, which I don't want to do because it's going to keep my picture-in-picture and everything on. But that's one way that you don't have to keep typing that in over and over again. So hopefully that helps. Man, maybe I need to take a nap before I go pick my daughter up or something. It won't make no sense. I am yawning like crazy. Paul, no problem. Man, so like I said, I mixed up, so I didn't have all of Josh's memes or anything like that for today, so my apologies. What else we got? Let me know. Based off of our last roundtable, I don't know if y'all saw my most recent video talking about the money and everything like that, how much you should charge for your services. That video was birthed. The genesis of it came from our roundtable, where we talked about, we talk about a wide variety of things as well too. We try and give everybody some encouragement, support, and everything. Because again, when we have one of those calls and stuff like that, know that everybody you're talking to is all about media ministry, no matter what capacity it is. So. And I keep dropping the Ireland stuff, not to brag, because I really want to know if there's anybody, any subscribers that are in that area, because I am going to be there Sunday. I'd love to experience another church service or something like that in a different country. So really be excited about that. Sheila would like to know, would a Stream Deck help? Stream Deck to help in what? Need what aspect? I'm using two of them right now to do all these commands that are coming up right here. But what do you mean by help? It can streamline if you're a one person team, and it can simplify some stuff. That's how I use it in my media ministry. Let's see. Has it almost been an hour? Nah, it couldn't have been. We started at 10:40, 10:45. Time has gone by that fast. All right, so Leslie, Mr. J. Kyle just got back in touch with me. He said, look, the brand is GTD Audio. It's made by the people who used to work at Shure, and they have some good quality stuff. Because that's this up, and he sent me a link. Thank you. All right, so here we go. So if we cut over here, these are the ones that he actually has at his ministry. So 4 of them for about $319, and he was like, he has the Shures and he has these, and he was like, you can't tell the difference. And his cousin is professionally installs sound systems. So if he was saying he doesn't have an issue with them, I think they're good. I will put a link in the description for those as well. My admin here that gets me straight. Good morning. Can I start the map now? The map. Am I missing something? I don't know, D. I would say yes, but I don't know what map you're talking about. Let me see. Bramwell 4. Streaming from the ATEM Mini Pro and my audio going to YouTube is low. How can I adjust from the ATEM? All right, to adjust that is fairly simple. You need to cut over here to the ATEM, and we're going to go down here to our audio tab, and you can adjust your audio right here. So you can see this is the audio that's coming in from my Rodecaster, and this is the main out. So you could do something like this or whatever channel that you have. Excuse me. You also could turn on a compressor by double clicking on the area. You can add a makeup to make it boost a little bit. If you want to do that, turn on the compressor, add a little bit more force behind it. You can play around with that stuff if you do, but the main volume where your faders are right here that you can turn up for your audio from the ATEM. And that is with the ATEM Mini Pro. All of the ATEMs will work that way. You just don't have a headphone out. The Extreme is the only one that can do that. So hopefully that will help. Man. And I don't want to say I'm getting older, but man, I need to take a nap or something. Let's see. Oh, okay, Mike. I was missing that. I told you I'm out of it today. Missionary Globe. Hey, that would be cool. That would be really cool. I'll be excited about doing something like that. Oh yes, D. Yes, I would agree. Yeah. As long as it's not personal trips, then yes, anything else like that would be fine. Oasis of Hope Chicago. Your thoughts on bringing audio out of a digital mixer using the monitor out connected to a X5 in-ear monitor system and a receiver connected using the 1.8. I mean, technically that could work. I mean, I came out of a board before from the monitor out into the ATEM, similar without that pass-through. I mean, technically it can work. The only issue is you're kind of confined on how much adjustments that you can have. The only thing you will have is, like, a lot of people are doing a separate mix for your live stream. When you're doing the monitors out, those monitors outs are really meant for the people who are controlling the board so they can hear everything. You can't really adjust it. I would think you can't really, at least the boards I've seen, you're not able to adjust it as fine as you would like for an actual house mix. That's the only thing. But if you just need to get by, then yes, that will work. Back to Paul. What is the free version software for lyrics and sermons? That is Presenter by Worship Extreme. That's the one that I was just using. With connecting few monitors with different settings, main live. I don't know of anyone that is free that can do all of those. Presenter can do all of them, but then you would need to do the paid version of it at least $10 a month. But then, you know, if you really, really, really needed to do that, I mean, what you could do, I don't know, this sounds tacky. You could have multiple versions under different people's names with the free version, and then one version is just for the main screen, the other one is just for a live stream, then the other one is just for a studio monitor. So you're going to have 3 systems, and people have to be in sync when they do that. Maybe you could rig those together to be controlled over MIDI with that new update. I don't know. That's what I would think. Shay Covington here. When live streaming during praise and worship while the musicians are playing only, is when the sound sounds like muffled on live. How do I fix that? I am using a Scarlett. If it's sounding muffled, what is the source? Is it coming from the Scarlett 2? Is it coming from your board? Are there any type of noise gates or anything like that on? Are there any specific settings on the board that is coming from? For it just to get muffled like that with just the musicians. Yeah, and are all the musicians coming in, are they all mic'd? Are they plugged into the system? Need a little bit more detail on that one. Let's see. Yeah, we're going. Who in the world is calling? Spam, man. Robocalls. Ugh. So annoying. I don't see any new questions there. But yeah, so like I said, I am not opposed to traveling as long as I don't miss any of my daughter's main events. Need to be good dad, number one. I love to visit as much as possible and get out of Richmond and visit and see some of y'all and get on the road and help out and stuff like that. Let's go back to Sheila's question here. Wait for it to update. Will Stream Deck help? Mixers, a Mackie Pro FX, software, easy worship, cameras, VTZ optics. Want to use OBS, live stream, Zoom participants with video but no audio. Can't use easy worship with stream. I mean, yes, the Stream Deck is just a programmable console to make you programmable console with multiple buttons that you can have easy access to a lot of stuff. So the Stream Deck can control the Zoom calls. It can control OBS. Easy worship, I don't believe it can. You can rig it up to control the PTZ optics, like send commands directly to it to go to a certain position, a preset position. And then from the Mackie Pro, I don't think directly it can connect with that. But I mean, it can. A lot of stuff can be done. It all depends on, it's nothing out of the box for it to work. You would have to put it together to help serve your purposes. So that could help. Back to Shay, I would say, he says he's running, or they're running an Allen and Heath SQ5. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. And as much as I don't want to, because I really don't want to, as in because I don't have the space, I'm gonna have to get a board or something that I have access to, because I've gotten so many audio questions that I'm gonna have to go into that field. There's a church I know that has this board. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head there. Yeah, I think Indy says that they love that board, so somebody else has that. Yeah, I don't know, but I would think if everything is coming in and it sounds perfectly fine when people are singing, but then they stop, that sounds like there's some type of gate or something like that. But why would it, unless it's some type of group mix or something like that, just set to throttle it back or something? That's the only thing I can think. Like, we have on our board a noise gate to where if it doesn't hit a certain volume, it will throttle the audio completely for the organ. So it's the mic is on the Leslie until the Leslie gets to a certain sound level. It's not going to engage the mics. I don't know if they've grouped a bunch of mics together and they put the priority on the singer mics. So when they're not hearing anybody sings, it just across the board just flattens everybody. That's just my assumption based off of what I would think something could work. But again, that is a big if that was set up that way. So that I don't know, unfortunately. And sorry, I don't even want to try and pronounce your name wrong. Hello, AJ. We need your advice on an issue we have with our live stream. We stream our videos via OBS, but it's dragging all the time. We have the camera connected to the A10 Mini to the laptop. If it's dragging, what type of laptop do you have? That sounds like that your laptop can't keep up. That's what it sounds like just from your description. But what type of laptop is it, and what are the specs of it? Processor, does it have a GPU? How much memory, stuff like that. See, Mike, that was the whole plan. If I was going to go there, that was going to be the surprise, saying like, hey, I'm going to be in the area, folks, and this, and this. But like I said, it just didn't pan out this time around. Yeah, and I think, Mike, just like you said, it's like the travel has been interesting, and that's why I'm a little bit nervous. I mean, I got my vaccination card and everything like that, and taking all these tests and everything like that. I mean, everybody says that I've been watching YouTube on how many people who've traveled and what to look out for and things like that. They said it's okay as long as you are thoroughly prepared. So that's why I'm just taking all these tests that I don't think I need to take, but I'm going to take them anyway just to have redundancy. So we'll see. Thank you for your videos. What do you think about the Canon EOS 2000D DSLR plus a 18 to 55 millimeter IS2 for live streaming at church? First off, I am no expert when it comes to DSLR cameras. The main thing I can say is, as long as you know that camera will not overheat and shut down, and you have a clean HDMI out, and if the lens covers and gives you the look that you need from the distance is going to be placed, then any camera will work as long as it fits those needs. And we want to live stream through OBS. Yeah, I mean, any of that will work. That camera will work if it can meet those requirements. And then OBS, I mean, that's fine too. You know, how are you going to connect to it? If you're using that EOS, that Canon web beta app utility, that will work, but I think it hasn't been updated yet to where it still restricts it at 720p. But again, I mean, you can get like the $10 capture card that I did a review on a while ago that still works perfectly fine. That can go into your computer. Then also, what's the specs on the computer? Will it work? And Otis pretty much said the same thing I was thinking. Check your compressor. They need a band matrix and a vocal matrix and a stream mix. Okay, awesome. Thank you there, Otis. All right, do you happen to know the model of the Acer? Because I can look it up to see what it is. Also, side note, my YouTube channel, and almost a lot of them, will block any comments that have email addresses in it. So Cassandra, I see that you were trying to send a message, but it's blocked because of that. So if you're trying to do that, what you're trying to do, let me know. Or if you're in the Facebook group, you can go ahead and put that out there on the Facebook group. So you'll be fine with that. Let's see. Don't have any other comments coming in, and like I said, I don't have any filler stuff like I normally would. But let me know. Let me switch it up a little bit then. So I want to tell y'all a couple of future videos that we're working on, and let me know what y'all think about it, and maybe we can add some other stuff to it if y'all have any ideas. All right, so videos that we're working on are top 5 tips for church communications, top 10 common A10 mini questions, top 5 live streaming questions, how to be a church influencer, a behind the scenes of what I use to make YouTube videos, another video on Worship Extreme Planner, a tutorial on that, Zoom Audio Revisited, and Mac A10 Mini setup. Those are the videos I have in the pipeline that we're working on. Let me know if there's any, let me know if there's any other videos that you want me to go over. You know what? If I'm yawning, that must mean that I need to eat or something. Or my medicine is kicking in too hard and it's trying to make me go to sleep. Like Mike is saying, I have to agree. Be careful with the EOS utility. We have had some issues lately with OBS crashing when using it. Yeah, I've had a bunch of people that have had that issue. I just remembered I got to do a training this Saturday, and I need to take my ATEM with me. The question was, what is the name of the... Well, it actually doesn't have a specific name. It was this right here. Pull it back so it's in focus. And it's just a HDMI on Amazon. When I got it originally, it was like $14, $15. Now you can get tons of these like for $7. So I got a bunch of these as just extras just in case anything happens with a live stream. So, I mean, if they mess up, it's $7. So, Paul wants to know, is the web presenter be able to record, or do we need an external hard drive? It has, no, the web presenter does not record, but it does have an HDMI, has a USB out, so it can connect to like a computer with running OBS, and you can record it that way. I had it connected to my other system just to see, and it works, but yeah. Otis was saying, do you need coffee? Man, my dad was a physics teacher and a chemistry teacher, and he used to drink coffee black and put it in his thermos every morning when he went to school. I didn't know what it was, and I slipped and took a sip of it, and that stuff was so nasty that I swore ever since I was 6, I was never going to drink coffee. So even if coffee was an option, no, I would not drink coffee. That has messed me up. Art wants to know, will some of these be interviews? I have some interviews in the works. I have not heard back from anybody yet on them. So I want to get back into AJay interviews and interview some other people, but I haven't heard from anybody. So those videos were just going to be regular, like talking head videos, but we are in the works of doing some stuff. Live production tips and tools. Hello, hello. Jamie, good to see you. Hello, hello. Back to live production tips and tools. I'm getting the AVCAM's PTZ 30X. That's what we just installed at Epworth. Can I run a 200-foot RS-232 cable to get the controller, or is it too long? Yes, 200 feet will work. If it doesn't, you can always convert it over to the adapters I have in there that were like $12 and convert it over to Ethernet, and the Ethernet can go 200 feet. So either one will work. Jinx, the savagery. Black is the only way to drink coffee. No, the only way to drink coffee is to not drink it. Yeah, Josh, I saw it right after I made that statement. So we got you. See, Francisco, I'm talking about CSAA ministry in full effect. See, like mine, you don't mess with that coffee stuff. Man, it's so much stuff going on. My whole plan. No, Jamie, we're not doing. Josh's means actually are going to be pushed off to next week, and just realize because the next roundtable, I'll actually still be in Ireland. So I'm wondering can we do one from there? But obviously the time would have to be different, because if I do it at that time, it's going to be almost like whatever. Maybe I'll do that. We have so many people that call into our roundtables that are in the UK and other areas like that. So they're really, really early in the morning. So maybe I'll do that just to share in with y'all with that. Dion wants to know, what's the difference between BNC and SDI cables? BNC is actually just a connector that goes on it. It's a locking mechanism. That's what the BNC is. And then SDI is, it's a grade of SDI. That's actually the cable. So yeah, they're different from that. One is a connector, one is an actual cable. Claudette Reed, I'm looking forward to Worship Extreme video. We're in the process of changing over from Easy Worship. Awesome. Well, the good thing is all of the other videos that I have, for the most part, are still intact. They just changed the name from Worship Extreme to Presenter by Worship Extreme. I'm going to go back in depth with it, but a lot of the videos that I have still are relevant because they haven't changed a lot. Now, the MIDI interface, I think that would be cool. I don't have a MIDI interface, so I might have to get something like that. But we'll see. See, we got another one, Francisco. Don is like, I agree with you on coffee. Absolutely. Back to live production tips and tools. Will RS-232 provide power, or I still need to? Yes, no power is ran over that. That is just a control signal. You will need to send power to it. But honestly, the easier thing is get a PoE switch, and you can send power over the Ethernet cable to the camera. So the only cables you'll really need is the Ethernet to send it power, your video out, whether it be HDMI or SDI, and then the adapter for the RS-232. Those are the only cables. I think that would work. Excuse me. Back to Paul. Is Worship Extreme free version? Yes, the presented by Worship Extreme, it is free, but it's limited on what you can do. You can only have one display out, so that would be for your audience. You can't do a stage display or nothing like that, or any secondary or tertiary type of screens. But it is completely free as long as you have an internet connection. I've had ministries been using it for 5 years, and they've never paid for it, and they've been using it fine. So yes. Otis is saying, cannot function without coffee. Mike, we'll see. Again, I normally don't get jet lag, but again, this is the longest flight that I've ever done. And this is the farthest away from home that I've ever been. So I don't know how it's going to affect me, but we'll see. Jamie would like to know, and when will the 24-hour live stream thing happen if it's going to take place? I'm still working on that because of everything that's going on. I might try. I need to do it when I don't have a lot of stuff going on. So I might try and do it the week before I go, because I know D has blocked off some time because, as you can see, I am tired. So the first week of October, I'm really not doing anything. I don't have anything on my books. So I might try and do something like that, so I have plenty of time to rest before and after. So I'll let y'all know. Back to Paul. Can Worship Extreme set up 2 different monitor settings? Yes, it can, but only on one of the paid versions. So like if I open up Presenter again, excuse me. And I have the Pro version, so I have everything unlocked in here. So if I come up here and I go to settings, see, I can go to screen configurations and see I have 4 screens configured because I'm in the Pro version. So I can have the full screen go out to the sanctuary. I can have a stage display for if I had this for anybody else on a pulpit. I have another one that is a faux screen that is just for my live stream that converts everything back to a lower third layout. And then I also have another output that was going directly to my TV that was behind me. So yes, you can have multiple screens set up, but you have to have a physical connection for each monitor. If it's a physical monitor. Now the live stream one is an actual window that opens up that I can keep minimized, but all of that is restricted to the paid account. So yes, you can do that. Team RHO, it would be nice if you did a real, it would be nice you did a live watch party of service or something similar and discuss tech and tips. Actually, I am working on doing that. I actually posted the intro to that on Facebook a while ago. But yeah, I am looking at that. How long am I away for? I'm actually just going to be gone from October 7th until the 11th. So I might as well add another day because I'm going to be out of commission the next day. So it'll be the same amount of time, 1 day, 2 days short of when I was supposed to be at NAB. NAB, I was going to be gone from the 8th until the 13th. So now I'm going to be gone from the 7th until the 12th. So about the same amount of time. Rob said, coffee, the Christian drug of choice. No. Dion wants to know, what is a static IP address? I'm new to the world of networking and learning as I go. Okay, a static IP address means it doesn't change. So like right now, I have all my stuff on a network in DHCP, dynamic hosts. Why, man, I'm failing the people at computer science at Hampton University. Why did I just draw a blank? I know P is protocol. Dynamic host configuration protocol. Sorry, I had to look it up. That pretty much means when you connect to your router, it has a pool of IP addresses based on whatever you set that will give an IP address a lease of an IP address to any device that's connected to it. So say you have IP address 192.168.0.1. That's the router. So it's going to hand out IP addresses from 192.168.0.2 up to 254, 55, 54, something like that. That's the range that it will hand out. And I'm being very simplistic in this. A static IP address would be that I'm going to set the IP address to something in that range manually. So like for me, my ATEM in my network, even though I have everything set up on DHCP that it can hand out IP addresses automatically, my computers are set to a static IP address. So mine in here is set to 254. My computers are set to 59, 60, and 61. I have those as static IP addresses, as in an address that does not change. So hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully I didn't offend any of my computer science folks because I drew a blank there for a second. Let's see. Jamie, very much so. That is the whole goal of me going to Ireland, going to a completely different place I've never been before, to where, yeah, just normally this is what I do on cruises. When I used to go on cruises, just I would plan the whole thing out, and then when I get to on the cruise ship, my phone gets off. I don't take a laptop with me, and I may take a book with me, and I just veg out because I normally don't do that the majority of the time because I'm always doing something. Otis, so would you still need an RS422 or RS232 using an IP controller over PoE? No, you don't, as long as the camera can accept the protocol over IP. Then you don't. Like some other churches that I have, I normally just run, because I still do video hardwire. I don't do NDI with the switches I use. I just run a HDMI cable, SDI cable, and then one Ethernet that's doing network, PoE, and control. Monty, thank you for the super chat, man. What up, AJ? Which camera lens are you using on your main camera now? I see the stream is at 4K, bringing that camera in through the ATEM. Yes, I am using the Sigma. Hold on. Let me actually pull it up. So it's the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. And the lens that I am now using, I thought this is the one that you talked about you were using, Monty. I am actually using this one. That is the Sigma 16mm 1.4 micro four thirds lens. This is the one that I am using on this main camera right now. All of that is going into my ATEM Mini Extreme, which is then connected to vMix, so I can have all the graphics, and the vMix external monitor is going into the Web Presenter 4K. That's what's streaming. And it just got hot in here, maybe from all the lights I have on. Turn my fan on here. So, yeah, so it's doing good because the Web Presenter is up converting everything to 4K. So I do want to play around with this and have the camera directly connected to it and just see how much different it will look. But I'm happy with it right now. Mike would like to know, in Presenter, can you split the lower third screens into multiples compared to the other screens so you can have less lines per screen? I don't believe so. I think that it's going to say, hey, no, I don't think you can, because when you press to the next slide, that trigger for the next slide goes to every single scene, every single screen. So, no, I don't believe so. KCMI 89. For worship stream, where do you go to make a new template? All right, so to make a new template, what I like to do is actually go under songs, because I don't know why they haven't made a direct call out button for that. Give me a second. All right, I'll just use my home screen. That'll be better. So in here, what I like to do, because it doesn't have anything calling out, I wish it did, here, I normally just go to songs, and then templates is right here. And then you can make a new template here. That's the easiest way for me to get to it. So hopefully that helps you. Turn that off. Dion saying, makes perfect sense. Would a PTZ need a static IP if I want to control it with the Stream Deck? Yes, that would help, so that it wouldn't have to search for it all the time. Because that's what happened with Pastor Allen. We had it set up, and I thought it wasn't going to change it, but then something happened. The power went out. The cameras were still on. The fan is tickling my nose. And how we had the PTZ controller was looking at the wrong IP addresses. So that's why I set everything to a static, so that doesn't change. That's one of those things. So especially if you're going to do it like that, where it's going to be controlled, yes, set it as a static IP. That's what I do for my Synologies, any of the networking stuff, because you just never know. Hope Worship, why do you not recommend cinema cameras or higher end broadcast cameras? Have you ever done any higher end installs? Honestly, the reason why I did not recommend them is because I only recommend stuff that I've used. So I never had any expertise in those cameras, and I don't want anybody to be a guinea pig. So as things have gotten better from a business standpoint, I've actually bought these cameras myself. So now, with the studio camera and stuff like that, I can recommend those cameras, and I'm still learning lenses so that I can let them know which one is which. But that's the reason why I haven't. And no, I have not done any higher end installs, because most of the installs I've done, this is one of those things most of them have been a knee-jerk reaction where it's like, hey, we didn't really want to do this live streaming stuff or the camera stuff, but we have to now. So most of the time they were looking at a budget to stay within. I have not had somebody who technically have said, like, we have a blank check and we just want to do this type of stuff. I know that's coming soon. But again, I wanted to up my skill so I know how dealing with these cameras, what to expect and things like that. So from a standpoint of these studio cameras, yeah, I feel comfortable with using these. Finally, once I get the on-demand controllers, then I think I would be 100% sure of recommending these type of cameras to other ministries. But no, I just haven't had one that's most of them have always wanted a small scale and fit within inside of a budget. So hopefully that helped. I must say it is now my favorite as well too. Hey AJ, so you mean I can use the same Ethernet cable to control the camera and provide power PoE, because I am planning on using the RS-233 controller. How do I hook up the controller to the Ethernet? Well, it depends. Get one of the if you're going with the AV cans can be controlled over the network. As long as you have a controller that is an IP controller that can talk to it, then yes, the controller would just have an Ethernet jack that goes out, and you can just plug it into your into your switch, and the camera's into your PoE switch, and it just talks that way. And there is nothing else that you need to hook up. You would just run your video to your switcher, but then everything else, the control, the power, and network connection is done over that one Ethernet cable. So really straightforward. I actually did that on a couple of installs, so I have videos showing how that was working as well too. Claudette was saying, my church's stream is coming in dark. What kind of wash lights would you recommend? Honestly, I'm not a lighting expert, so I don't really know. Plus, it all depends on your stage and how your pulpit and everything like that is set up. I can give you some recommendations, but again, I tell you from the jump, I am still learning lighting as well too. So that's why you never see me do any lighting installs, because I have not mastered that myself. Plus, my church doesn't even have lights. That's another battle that I'm fighting for that one. Let's see. Yeah, I think we may be good. I'm gonna take this last one here from Jamie here, saying, why is there a change in my audio? I didn't notice it. Hold on. I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. I didn't see it. So I don't know. Jamie. I don't know about that one. Everything seems fine on this side. I didn't get a message from YouTube saying that nothing has staggered or nothing. All right. So yeah, now the last one is going to be okay. Jamie said no problem. All right. So last one here from Paul, regarding about soundboard question just now. What is the reliable analog soundboard? Digital soundboards are over the budget for us. No problem, Jamie. And then you're saying, is a single mixer or dual mixer is a better for main hall and live streaming? It all depends. We have the first wave of digital mixers at my home church, which is really outdated compared to everything. And we can't do a separate mix, to my knowledge, for live streaming stuff. So we just take the same thing that's coming from the house, which I'm noticing now is not the best sound. You could have your own secondary mixer. I've seen people do that, to where they have their own secondary mix just for their live stream. It all depends. It's like, I don't want to say there's any right or wrong way to do it. You work with whatever you got, and So it all depends. I've seen people have upgrade to a board to where they can have separate ones. I've had other folks that just use what they got. I've had other people that add a secondary mix that comes out. Some other people had a board that they can pull the audio off of USB and it gives them a second mix from the USB out. And instead of having another mixer, or they use a software mixer to do it, it's a bunch of ways to do it. So kind of hard for me to say. It all depends because each situation is different. But all right, folks, I think that's about it, because I think, as some people say, I guess the fact that I'm not drinking coffee, that's the reason why I'm getting tired or something like that. So I don't know. I'm probably going to see if I can sit down here and take me a nap before I got to pick the little one up from school and then get ready for another day of cheerleading practice or something like that. But I will let y'all know what's going on. Hopefully I will see y'all on our roundtable. All the information to get into the Zoom call on Sunday is on the group, and I'm sure somebody's going to post it again. Probably either Josh or Anthony. Josh made the graphic for it, so it's there present. Hopefully we'll see y'all there, and we'll make a decision on what we're going to do. And then also we do have a follow-up meeting that I haven't had a chance to do because I've been busy, on planning for our next e-missionary conference. Did I take that image down? This was the original. It did very, very well. We're looking forward to making some revisions and everything like that for next year's. Make it bigger and better than ever, with more options and everything. So we're going to have a meeting to talk about what we need to do for planning for that. So again, thank y'all so much. Really, really appreciate y'all hanging out with me again on a Friday. Hopefully something I said helped y'all get some questions answered. But like I said, if you have any more follow-up questions, you can always hit me up at questions@ajayhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to get back in touch with you, and I will do the best that I possibly can. And if no one has ever told you, thank you so much for everything that you're doing in your local branch of Zion, for your media ministry. Sometimes what we do is a thankless job, or the only time we get attention is when we have a squeak in the mics and everybody turns around, and that's when we get attention. But thank you so much for what you're doing. Really appreciate it. Y'all have a good day, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you is in the world, and we'll be seeing y'all in the next video, folks. Later.